What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Getting into this episode of GH. Listen, when I tell y'all I am over this Sunny Carly shit, I am over this Sunny and Carly shit. I'm over it. I just feel like every day that they're on, it's the same conversation with literally the same outcome. They get nowhere. Carly ends up storming out every time, and they don't resolve a damn thing. I'm over it. It's like I was actually happy when Sonny asked her, like, so are we calling this shit quits? Like, are we done with this marriage? Like, what we doing? I was happy when he asked that question because I was like, are we? Inquiring minds would like to know. I hope so. Come to some type of resolution on this, something. Because I feel like they both got one foot in this marriage and the other foot out. That's pretty much with both of them at this point. Um, Carly was being a little ridiculous when she came in that kitchen. Like she talking about, oh, I thought we agreed that you were gonna leave, that you weren't gonna be here when I woke up this morning. Sonny was like, yo ass thought wrong. I loved it. He was like, you thought wrong. And I agree with Sonny on that one because I'm like, listen, if I was him, I wouldn't play this game with her when it comes to me moving out of my house. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. Because now she wants to sit here and move out and go to the Metro Court. I'm like, I don't get that though. Why are you going to the Metro Court when you still have a big house? You still have the lake house and nobody's there but Bobby. So why not move in there? Because she going to sit there and tell Olivia, oh, the house just ain't big enough for the two of us. That's a mansion he lives in. What do you mean? Y'all got like at least probably like 7 bedrooms in that bitch. Pick one. Like, I get it. She need her space. Listen, I'm not trying to say that Carly's not right in what she's saying because I do feel like she's part of her. Like, she's right in some of the things she's saying. Because every time she asks Sonny a direct question, he deflects. He just completely goes into a whole nother topic. He refuses to answer a simple question. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why that frustrates her and why she just be like, once he does that, whenever he does that, that's when the conversation ends and she just be like fucking and she storms out. I don't blame her for that. It's like I can't say that I could fault her because it would irritate the shit out of me if I was in those shoes. It would irritate the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm pretty sure I got a few married people that watch this video or you were married at one point. And I want to direct this question to the married folk or the people that were married or in a serious relationship at some point. You ain't necessarily have to be married, but a serious relationship. I just want to know if you were in Sonny and Carly's position and you asked your husband or your wife, you know, a direct question and they keep deflecting, like, what would you do? Like, would you do what she do? Pack your shit and leave? I just want to know. Like, it's super funny to me how Sonny says that Carly's using Nina as an excuse not to fix their marriage. It's not an excuse, it's just facts. It's like every time she turns around, there's Nina, there's Sonny together. And she doesn't even know about it until she hears about it later, and she's not hearing about it from her husband. That's the problem. And the fact that Sonny admitted that he has feelings for her. When you admit to your wife that you got feelings for another woman and that you can't just cut those feelings off and stuff like that, and then she hears that you're with her in private, well, how the hell is she supposed to feel? What is she supposed to think? And you expect her to continue to live like, happily ever after with you? That's an unrealistic scenario. It's very unrealistic for Sonny to think that. It's naive even. Like even for him. Like how could you possibly expect her to be a dutiful wife again, be by your side, be the Sonny and Carly that y'all were when you got this heifer over here, knowing that she wants you. I mean, come on, we all know it. Nina wants him. He want her in a way. In a way. By his actions. His actions have proven it. I respect the fact that he's sitting here trying to fix his marriage, but the problem with that is he still ain't got both feet in his marriage yet. He ain't got him back in this marriage. He got one foot out. He could lie all he want to. He got one foot out. You can always tell when somebody got a foot out that marriage, and it's only a matter of time for that other foot go following. You know what I mean? Like I can't say that I blame Carly for not committing herself to this marriage right now. I don't blame her. She can't commit herself to it until she knows for a fact Nina's not going to be a factor. When she knows that that's done, like his feelings for her are dead, like dead, then she'll get back into this marriage. But if he can't, show her that, because at this point, Carly made it very clear that she's sick of the words. Like she's tired of Sonny's words. She wants to see action at this point to prove to her that he ain't thinking about Nina, that he don't want Nina. So until he could show action, she ain't coming back in that house. She done. She done. She ain't done like divorce done, but for right now, she's done until they can figure out their next step and where they going from here. I can't say that I fault her for it. And of course, Sonny wants to bring up Jason and stuff like that. And I get it, Jason is a good excuse to use and to throw at her, but the difference is Jason's gone. He's not a factor in their marriage right now. She ain't running to Jason. She's not having private conversations with Jason. He's not physically here. Nina is physically here. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big issue. I think if Nina wasn't around, if she was dead or she was out of town or whatever, she left town permanently, I think Carly would definitely feel more at ease about fixing this marriage. But with Nina being, 5 steps away, she's in the same town as y'all, that's a problem for Carly. So I can't say I fault her for it. I can't say it. I can't. I can't blame her. I'm just tired of the two of them going around in this merry-go-round every 5 minutes because they're not resolving a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It's like the same conversation every single time, and they don't fix shit. It just gets worse, you know? Hopefully they can get it together. And when Sonny threw them pills at the wall, I said, no, Sonny, no. When he threw his lithium, I said, nah, brother, you got to take them pills. The last thing we need is Sonny running around Port Charles manic as hell. That's the last thing we need. I'm like, no, we don't need that. Not today. So anyway, moving on from that. Um, Valentine actually kind of surprised me because Nina called him because Nina needs an ally if she's gonna go up against the Corinthos family and partly, the Quartermains too. She gonna need an ally, and she needed Valentine. She was shocked that Valentine basically told her to let this situation go. Like, don't file no papers, let this go, turn the other cheek, basically. She was shocked because she wasn't expecting that to come out of Valentine's mouth. I was a little shocked too, but then I understood where Valentine was coming from. He's not a dumb person. He picks his battles very wisely. And what he said had a lot of merit to it. Yeah, Nina is wealthy. She has resources and stuff to go up against the Corinthoses, but you're not just going up against that family. You're going to be going up against the resources of the Quartermains as well. And both families are very influential in that town, very powerful. You got to pick your battles very wisely. You got to be careful, And I also feel like, honestly, Valentine didn't want to, help her with this for the simple fact it doesn't benefit him. Where does it, he mentioned like how this could hurt the kids and how, Wiley could be collateral damage and all this. And I believe he was genuine about that, but I also believe he just didn't want to help her with this because there was no benefit to him on this. If you really look at it, there is no benefit. What does he get from helping her, get visitation with Wiley and win this war? And they're not even going to win this war. They will win a battle. Maybe they'll win a battle or two, but that's it. And Valentine ain't gonna go through no useless war. If he's gonna do battle against two influential families, it's gonna be for something of value. Like he's gonna want something for himself. And right now, the way I'm looking at it, there's nothing in it for him. He ain't getting nothing that he ain't already got. So it's like, what does he get? Nothing. So yeah, he was like, Nina, you're on your own, and I agree with him. I'm not going to war with nobody unless I know there's something at the end of that war that's going to be won, that I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no hollow victory. Hell no. I want a big gold trophy or something at the end of this bitch. Because if I ain't getting nothing but pure satisfaction that I took down, two prominent families or something, where I won against two prominent families, that is not good enough for me. So Valentine was smart in that retrospect. But Nina's not gonna let this go. And it's so funny that she kept calling Sonny Mike. I'm like, woman, his name is not Mike. See, this is the biggest problem I have with her. And her notion that her and Sonny could be together. You want to be with Mike. That's the problem. Like she don't, but you're gonna get Sonny. That's what she need to understand. You are gonna get bipolar mob boss Sonny with a little sprinkling of Mike. That's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get your white picket fence. You're not gonna get your Mike. You're not gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not totally just getting that. So she needs to come to that realization. Um, I also feel like she's kind of handling this visitation thing a little wrong at first. I feel like she needs to kind of let cooler heads prevail. What she should do is reach out to Michael, try to, set up a visitation for Wiley, and if Michael refuses, then I say go for, visitation, file the paperwork, but try to do it cordially first. You know what I'm saying? Try to do it the peaceful way first. And then if not, do what you got to do on the legal aspect. But you going about it legally first, Michael's going to misconstrue it and be like, oh, she trying to this, she trying to that. And it's just going to throw more flames on the fire. Even though he's probably going to think that anyway, even if she does take the nice approach, he'll probably think that anyway. But, I mean, I would just try to go through it, the proper channel first. You know what I mean? So, of course, she called Martin for some legal advice and stuff about what her next move should be. I mean, once she pulled the trigger on this thing, it ain't no going back. So, good luck. She might need it. And the funny thing? Valentine didn't want to go to war with the Corinthos and Quartermains. But when it comes to Austin, he was flat out asking Austin. He was like, so you want to pay the Quartermains back for what they did to you? Something tells me that's a battle he'll join. And the reason I say he'll join that battle is because it benefits him. Because think about it. They're still trying to boot his ass out as CEO. So if he helps Austin and Austin win, and Austin gets some ELQ stock, think about it. If Drew gets his ELQ stock back and stuff somehow, then that's going to mess Valentine up. So Valentine is being pretty strategic at this point. Like, if he aligns himself with Austin and Austin gets some stock, the balance of power can stay with Valentine because he can possibly get, Austin's vote and stuff like that, which would keep him in the CEO's office. So, see, that's a war Valentine is willing to fight because he gets something from it. See, that Nina shit, he not gaining nothing from that. She ain't even his woman no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you get? You ain't getting nothing. So this fight is something that he would benefit from. So I could see him joining in on this. Because Austin is not in a forgiving mood when it comes to BLQ. She tried to apologize. She tried to let bygones be bygones. Austin said, fuck that. He said, nope, too little, too late. We're going to war. Austin ain't letting her slide on everything she did to him. She is not letting him slide on it at all. And it's funny that he mentioned his mother. What's her name? Charity. It's funny he mentioned her because I'm assuming she's still alive and stuff. So I wonder if they're gonna bring her back in or whatever at some point. I really hope we get some Austin and Tracy scenes because I'm noticing that she's been back for a little minute now. We still have not seen her with her nephew yet. I'm like, I would love to see that, her interactions with him, especially given the fact that for all these years when Jimmy Lee was corresponding with Edward before Edward died, she was the one hiding the letters. So I hope that they put her in some scenes with him before, Jane Elliott, takes her flight on up out of here. So I think that'd be pretty dope, pretty cool. Speaking of Tracy, Tracy is so fucking rude. Like, she is just so rude. So Ned done turned around and hired Martin to help get her out of this. She was so rude. She was like, Ned, so you just gonna leave me? So you left me here all this time. Madam, you were only in there probably for like less than 24 hours. There was nothing he could do to get you out any sooner. Then she sitting there bickering with Martin or whatever because he told her to take a plea deal. And she was like, hell no, she not trying to take no plea deal. So she tries to fire Martin. But Ned was like, no, you can't fire him because I hired him. So now she's trying to fire Ned. Ned was like, you can't fire your own children. Dante was so annoyed by this. He was like, listen, I'll see y'all later. I got shit to do. Ned was looking at Tracy like, you really have flipped. Because Tracy's sitting there talking about she can't take a plea deal because Martin wants her to take a plea deal. To get her out of these charges or whatever, so that way she don't have to go to prison or nothing like that. But she don't want to take it because it's going to hinder her from going back to Amsterdam, and she really needs to get back to Amsterdam to settle Luke's affairs. And before she leaves, she got to handle this BLQ nonsense. And Ned was trying to figure out what the hell she talking about. But she was being very like cryptic about it. Like, oh, it involves your daughter, it involves your granddaughter. Ned was like, what the hell about them? And she won't tell him because she needs more information about what happened before she can include him in this. Um, Tracy's been acting strange when it comes to Luke. Like she would be crying one minute, but when she get around certain people, she'll go back into that Tracy Q mode where she's stoic and she ain't crying, she ain't vulnerable and stuff like that. So it got me to thinking like, what is she hiding? Like, do she know that Luke's not really dead or something like that? Like, what she know? And she's so eager to get back to Amsterdam. It's like, yeah, Tracy's up to something, especially with the way she acting up in that cell. She up to something. But, thanks to, Alexis's conscience or whatever, Robert ended up dropping the charges against her and, she was free and able to go. So, of course, first thing she does is bump into BLQ about Maxie's baby because she wants the details about how she ended up with Maxie's child. I really hope BLQ tell her because at this point, you might as well tell Tracy. Tracy is one of the best schemers of the schemers, so why not tell her? I'm pretty sure once she knows the whole kit and caboodle, she'll help out in some capacity. I highly doubt she's gonna want Peter of all people to get his hands on his kid, and I don't think she'll be that malicious about it. You know what I mean? Definitely if she knows the truth. Because when it comes to family, you know how Tracy is. She might not can't stand them sometime and talk crap about them, but she definitely be there for family when the chips are down. So I believe she will this time too. Um. So anyway, moving on from that. Speaking of Alexis, Sam was getting on my nerves with her little holier than thou ass. Like the way she was acting with Harmony. Don't get me wrong, her, Michael, everybody, they got a right to be upset with Harmony still about what happened to Christina at DOD. They got a right, but it's like for Sam to be so close minded, talking about, oh, what you're buying, what you're selling, I'm not buying. Sam is the last person who should be judging anybody because she too had a past when she first came on the show. She was a con artist, a thief, you know what I'm saying? An adulterer. She was messing around with all type of married folk. You know what I'm saying? Like having babies, getting pregnant by Sonny, and he was married to Carly at the time. She is the last person to be passing judgment on anybody. All these people in that town, they forgave her. And look at her. She changed her life around. She ain't the same as she was when she first got up here. She's totally different now. So for her to act like that towards Harmony is fucked up. I'm like, Sam, glass houses. Better remember that. Don't sit here and judge this girl. I understand, like she's suspicious of her or whatever. I would be too, but it's like, don't be so close minded. Y'all all got y'all past now. And, I definitely see Harmony making the necessary changes and she's trying to atone. And I actually like the friendship that her and Alexis have developed. And of course, Sam is pissed at Alexis for wanting to change her mind about locking Tracy up. At the end of the day, it's Alexis's choice, and she doesn't really see the point in trying to get Tracy thrown in jail. She don't see the point to it. She just want to move on. Can't fault her for that. It's her choice. It would have been fun though if she toyed around with Tracy for a little while before getting her sprung from the joint. So anyway, moving on from that, Robert and Olivia are sitting at that Metro Court being all flirty with each other. Robert was a little tight that, Olivia's even married to Ned. He was like, I'm mad that you love Ned because shit, he was acting like he was her little plaything at one point. And the way she was looking at Robert, they was looking at and talking to each other on some flirting shit. I said, listen. Olivia was looking at him like, listen, if I wasn't married to Ned, I'd be dropping them drawers. Robert was looking like, listen, I would have you in my kitchen cooking butt naked. Listen, if Ned and Olivia wasn't together, I definitely would enjoy some Robert and Olivia. They got chemistry. They definitely got chemistry, and I would have enjoyed the hell out of it. No question about that. So anyway, that's pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.